Good morning, students. We now continue with the EVS of Standard 5. This is the part 2 of the first lesson, Super Senses. So, just to revise that what we learned in the first part was about the super senses of smelling in different animals. That animals also have sense organs and they use these sense organs to know the surroundings around them. So now let us continue with this chapter. Now let's know about the sense organ of eyes. How are the eyes useful to us? We are able to see with our eyes. In the same way, this organ helps different animals and birds to see. Most of the birds have their eyes on either side of their head. Their eyes can focus on two different things at a time. When they look straight ahead, both their eyes focus on the same object. As we all know, we have seen birds, we see that they have eyes on the either side of their head. So both their eyes, they can see two different things at a time. And when they are looking straight, when they look straight, both their eyes focus on what they are seeing, means they focus on only one object. You must have seen birds moving their neck very often. Do you know why? So sometimes when we sit and watch at birds, we see that they keep on shifting their head left to right and right to left. So have you ever thought, why do they do so? In most of the birds, eyes are fixed and cannot move. So birds have to turn their heads to see around. In most of the birds, their eyes are fixed. They cannot move their eyes. So they need to turn their heads right to left to see the environment around them. Some birds like kites, eagles, vultures can see 4 times as far as we can. These birds can see things from a distance of 8 meters, what we can see from a distance of 2 meters. So all animals and birds, they have certain senses which are powerful in them, and so we say they are the super senses. So some birds have eyesight which is very much powerful than human beings. What we can see from 2 meters till 2 meters, they can see 4 meters long. So that is why the birds, certain birds, they are flying high up in the air, they can see their food or their prey right on the ground. So that is why they come and attack. So their super senses of seeing are very powerful. Now, can you guess from what distance can an eagle in the sky see a roti on the ground? So we just read that an eagle can see from a distance of 8 meters when it is high up in the air. Do animals see colors? As human beings see different shades of colors, can animals and birds also see these different shades? So let us read and know. Animals cannot see as many colors as we can. See how things in these pictures will be seen by some animals. So all animals cannot see many colors. They can recognize colors, but not all colors how human beings can. Now if you see this picture, the first picture is normal pinkish, greenish and little blackish. In the second picture, you will notice that it has become a little more darker than the first picture. The third picture shows the background is whole green and the color of the flower also has become white. And the last picture is almost black and white. So animals and birds, they cannot see the perfect color of what they are seeing because they do not know all the colors. It is believed that animals that are awake in the daytime can see some colors. So now it is said that certain animals that are awake in the day and they sleep in the night, the animals that are awake in the day can see certain colors. Those animals that are awake at night can see things only in black and white colors. So certain animals and birds that are awake in the night, they see only colors like black and white. Like owl, bird, it is always awake in the night, so it cannot see any colors. It can see only colors like black and white. Now let's talk about the hearing power. In class 4, you read that we cannot easily see birds' ears. Their ears are small holes covered with feathers. We all know that birds also can hear. They have ears, but their ears cannot be seen. They have holes on their either side of the head which are covered with feathers, and they can hear through those holes. So now we need to write as what we know, and I'm sure we all know the names of 10 animals whose ears can be seen. They are very easy. So accordingly you can write, for example, cat, dog, rabbit and elephant. We can see their ears. The names of some animals whose ears are bigger than our ears. Now comparing to our ears, which animals have ears that are bigger to ours? So that also is common, like cow, rabbit, elephant. So you think of and you can write 5 to 6 names in your textbook or rough book. So, is there some link between the size of animals' ears and their hearing? So, thinking, actually there is no link between that. The size and the volume that we can hear, they are not linked. If your ears are big, you will be able to hear the same sound that small ears can also hear. So, there is no link. Elephants have big ears, so they do not hear something more sound. So there is no link between that. Sit near a desk. Tap the desk once with your hand. Listen carefully. Now put your ear on the desk as shown in the picture. Tap on the desk once again with your hand. Listen again. Was there any difference in the sound of the tap? Now this is just, you have to try. You sit near any table or a desk and you tap the table with your hand. You make a noise with your hand on the table. Then what type of a noise do you hear? Now you put your ear on the desk as shown in the picture, and then again you tap and listen to the voice. So, is there any difference? There will be certain difference of sound because your ear is on the desk or the table. So, your hearing of the sound will differ. This is how snakes hear. They do not have external ears which you can see. They only feel the vibrations on the ground. So the snake also have tiny holes. They do not have ears like which we can see, external ears. So when they move on the ground, so any sound which is heard on the ground a little far from it can also be felt by the snake. So all the vibrations when we walk on the ground are heard by the snake. Sounds send messages. High up on a tree, a langur warns others of danger like a tiger or leopard. The langur does this by making a special warning call. Now, as human beings can talk, and by talking we can understand each other, even animals and birds have a certain sound. Now, their sound also differs when there is danger around them. So now monkeys, langurs, a type of a monkey, they warn each other about their enemy like a tiger or a leopard when it is around. So they start making special calls which the other langur can understand that what type of a call it is. It is a danger call. So they know that there are certain enemies around them. Birds also give alarm clocks to warn about the danger. Some birds even have different sounds for different kinds of danger. Now, even as I just said, that even birds have different alarm clocks, they have different sounds. But now, certain birds have different sounds for different type of danger. For example, there is a different warning call if the enemy is coming from the sky or if the enemy is on the ground. So even the birds know that when their eggs are in the nest, so they warn the other bird by giving a different type of call that an enemy is coming from the sky. So that call is different, and an enemy which is on the ground, to give the signal of that, they give another type of a call. So different sounds are made by different animals. Fishes give alarm call by electric signals. Some animals start behaving in a different way when an earthquake or storm is about to come. People who live in forest and can observe such behaviors of animals come to know of the danger. All animals have certain types of calls. Even a fish gives a different type of an electric signal in the water. So the other fish comes to know about the danger. Now, these animals, all the animals, they have a certain sense that God has given them to alert each other in time of danger of natural disasters like a storm or an earthquake. They come to know very well. For example, as we know, when an earthquake is expected, human beings don't know when the earthquake is going to come, but certain animals like a dog, they can smell the earth and they know, and they become quite alert during the time of an earthquake, and most of the dogs are not to be seen at that time. So certain animals, they start behaving in a different way when such disasters are going to break. And the people of the village, which are, we say that they are primitive village people who lived in the forest people, how do they know about all the dangers of the environment? So when they see these animals behaving in a different manner, even they come to know that their certain disaster is ahead and they have to face it, that certain type of earthquake or storm is expected. So they come to know from the behavior of different animals. For example, in December 2004, the tribes of Andaman and Nicobar Islands, they noticed that the animals behaving in a different manner. They saw that the animals were not behaving properly. So they guessed that there was some danger to be coming. So they moved away to a safer part of the island in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So the people saw the behavior of the animals and they understood and they reacted very quickly and they went to a safer place. And soon after, the islands were hit with a tsunami. So the island was hit with tsunami. The huge wave of water of a sea came on that island, but the people had already moved to safer places. So seeing the behavior, these people were saved. Dolphins also make different sounds to give messages to each other. Scientists believe that many animals have a special language of their own. So now even dolphin, as we just read, fish also give different types of calls. They give electric calls. So electric calls are these vibrations which are given in the water. So with that vibration in the water, the other fish knows about the danger. And scientists also have studied about these different types of languages given by the animals. So each animal has a different type of a language to warn each other. Say it with sounds. Just like birds and dolphins, you can also make your own language of sounds for giving messages. So now, when you need to talk to your friends, sometimes we don't speak, but we give a certain sound like a whistle to call. Sometimes, when we need to call your friend, you give a whistle and your friend hears and they come out. So, this is a call language. Remember, you have to talk to your friends with only sounds and no words. How and when will you need to give an alarm call? For example, when the teacher is coming to the classroom. Now, I think so this is the best example. Sometimes you all are making noise, and suddenly when the teacher comes, suddenly someone gives a whistle or someone screams or someone claps to give an alarm that the teacher is coming. So this is called a sound language. Sleeping, waking. Some animals go into a long deep sleep in certain seasons. Then they are not seen for many months. Now we have learnt in the last year, 4th standard, that certain animals go to sleep for many months. The animals that sleep in the winter, that sleep is called hibernation, and the animals that sleep in the summer is called estivation. So some animals, they go to sleep. Have you noticed that during the cold season you cannot see any lizards in the house? Where do you think they have gone? So in the winter season, when it is very cold, we do not see any lizards. So where do they go? They are all in their homes. They are not to be seen. So these are animals that sleep in the winter season. Now here's some information about a sloth. It looks like a bear, but it is not. This sloth animal, it looks like a bear, but it is not a bear. It is a sloth. It spends almost 17 hours a day sleeping while hanging upside down on a tree branch. So this animal, from 24 hours of a day, it sleeps for 17 hours and it hangs upside down the tree branch. The sloth eats the leaves of the same tree on which it lives. Now it eats only leaves, and on the tree that it is living, it eats the leaves of that tree. It hardly needs anything else. It does not eat anything else. It eats only leaves of the branch on which it is living. When it has eaten enough leaves from that tree, it moves to the nearby tree. So now, if it finishes eating most of the leaves of the tree for a little time, then it moves to another tree which is next to that tree. Sloths live for about 40 years, and in that time they move around only 8 trees. So for 40 years this animal has its lifespan. So in this lifespan of 40 years, it moves around 8 trees. So calculating, for 5 years, this animal stays on one tree and it eats the leaves of that tree. Once a week, it comes down from the tree to relieve itself. So once a week, only once in a week, it comes down from the tree to make itself a little relief from its normal life. Now let us see the different sleeping times according to 24 hours of certain animals. If you can see, there is a circle and there are fractions shown in it, and there are 12 different fractions which resemble 2 hours each. So talking about the sloth, we just read that it sleeps for 17 to 18 hours. So almost 3/4 of the circle is colored black. So only for 6 hours it keeps awake. and 18 hours it is sleeping. Now, how will you show the clock of a house lizard in winters? Now, in winters, these lizards are mostly sleeping. So, we have to just shade accordingly 2 hours. Each fraction has 2 hours. Now, here again, there are certain pictures given of animals with the fraction of their time of sleeping. Given here is the sleeping time of some animals. Write below each picture how many hours a day that animal sleeps. Now there is a picture of a cow, a python, giraffe and cat, and the fractions are shown with the black, and each fraction, as I said, we have to count for 2 hours. So how many hours a cow sleeps, python, giraffe and cat sleeps? Let us do that. Now for the cow, only 2 parts of the circle are shaded with black. So if we count one part for 2 hours, then only 2 are colored black, so it becomes 4 hours. For python, it is same as the slot. All the whole 3/4 of the circle is 18 hours. A giraffe, only one part is colored, so it sleeps for 2 hours. And a cat, exactly half the circle is colored, so they are 12 hours. So a cat sleeps for 12 hours. Talking about the tiger, we know that it is our national animal, and this national animal also has certain characteristics. So let us know some features about the tiger. A tiger can see 6 times better at night than most of us. So the seeing power, the super sense of seeing in a tiger is 6 times more than us. In the night, we cannot see that clearly than what a tiger can. We cannot see. A tiger can see, and mostly it goes for hunting in the night because it can see more clearly in the night. The tiger's whiskers are very sensitive and can sense the movement or vibrations in air. They help the tiger move in the dark and find its. So even the whiskers of the tiger, they are very sensitive, as we can just see behind the picture, that they can sense the movement and the vibrations in the air, and they help the tiger to catch the prey in the night. A tiger's sense of hearing is so sharp that it can make out the difference between the rustling of leaves and the sound of an animal moving on the grass. Now the hearing sense of the tigers are also very sharp. Now they are so sharp that even they can make out the difference of the rustling of the leaves. Rustling of the leaves means when the wind blows and the leaves are moving, and when the animal is walking on a leaf, on the leaves. The tiger can make out that there is an animal walking on the leaf, or it is because of the wind the leaves are moving. So this difference also the tiger can come to know. The ears of the tiger can move in different directions, and it helps to catch the sounds from all around. Now these ears of the tiger, they can move in all directions, and from everywhere around the tiger comes to know all the different sounds. The ear catches all the different sounds from all around the tiger, and it gives the signal to the tiger. So the tiger is a very alert animal. Tigers make different sounds for different purposes, like when it is angry or to call out to a tigress. It can also roar or snarl. Its roar can be heard up to 3 kilometers away. So now how birds give different types of calls for the birds coming from the air or whether they are on the ground. Even the tiger has different types of sounds when it is angry or to call out to the tigress. It can roar also, and it can snarl also. Snarl, that how dogs uh, bark and cry, in the same way even the tigers can do. And the roar of the tiger can be heard till 3 kilometers far. Each tiger has its own area which may cover several kilometers. Now, every tiger has its own area. How it does not allow any other tiger to enter into its area. Tigers mark their area with their urine. So, in whatever area these tigers are living, they mark it with their urine. So, on that how much part they are moving, and wherever they urinate, they count it as their own area, and they don't allow other tigers to enter into it. A tiger can at once come to know if there is another tiger in its area by the smell of the urine. So, as we just said, that it marks its area with the urine, and in case if he gets a smell of some other urine, he comes to know that there is another tiger in its area. A tiger will avoid going into another tiger's area. So these tigers are so smart that they don't go into the area of another tiger. They mostly live in their area, and they avoid going into the area of another tiger. So what type of an animal is this tiger? The tiger has a very good eyesight, the hearing power, the sense of smell are very sharp, and all these are their super senses. The tiger is one of the most alert animals. As we just read about the features of the tiger, and we came to know about their super senses, so it is the most alert animal. And yet, today the tigers are in danger. But still, being such an alert animal, the life of these tigers are still in danger. What do you think are some of the dangers to tigers in the jungle? Why is the life of these tigers danger in this jungle? The life of these tigers are danger because many people hunt these tigers for their skin. Can human beings also be a threat to animals? How? So, threat to animals means, can human beings also be dangerous to animals? So, how? Do you know that today many animals are killed and their parts are sold? So as we just read, these animals, wild animals in the jungles, their lives are in danger. Why? Because people hunt them, and their different parts are then sold. Elephants are killed for their tusk. Tusk are those false teeth of the elephant. That is why elephants are also killed, and it is sold for a very high price. As we say, ivory jewelries are made from the tusk of the elephants. Rhinoceros for its horn. Now that rhinoceros, a big animal like the hippopotamus, it has a horn, and that animal is hunted for the horn. So the horn is sold. Tigers, crocodiles and snakes for their skin. So the tiger, crocodile and the snake skin is sold in the market. Musk deers are killed just to make a little scent from its musk. Now this is a different type of a deer family. It comes in the deer family, the musk deer. Now this deer is killed, why? To make different types of scent from its musk, that is from its skin. So all these animals, their skins are sold, and different articles are made from their skins. People who kill animals are called hunters or poachers. Now there is some information, let us read. The number of tigers and many other animals in our country is reducing. So as a few years ago, the animals were being hunted in the jungle. So their number were reducing year by year. There is a danger that some of them will soon disappear. So if we hunt certain animals, wild animals, the number of that animals will start decreasing and soon they will disappear, means we won't be able to see that animal in future. To protect the animals, our government has made some forests as protected areas. So to protect these animals, the government is looking after certain forests and they have protected those forest areas. Some of them are the Jim Corbett Natural Park in Uttarakhand and Ghana in Bharatpur district of Rajasthan. So these are the national parks which are looked after by the government. In these areas, nobody can hunt animals or destroy the jungle. So these are restricted areas where people cannot go for hunting animals, and the animals which are there are protected by the government. So I expect that students, you must have understood, and a few exercises and question answers will be given in the third part. So thank you and have a nice day.